In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, I would like to welcome all of you students of today's lesson, which is going to be about Unit 4, Grammar. Today, inshallah, we will see something very unique, and it's with the native speaker. They use it a lot, okay? Today, inshallah, we will write sentences in the short form and distinguish between severable and non-severable phrasal verbs. Finally, we will write sentences using 3-word phrasal verbs. So mainly today, we will talk about the phrasal verbs. Let's start. The phrasal verb. Now look at these icons or pictures here. Can you tell me where can you find this icon? Very good. Using your mobile, for example, you would find this one. What does it mean? Can you give it a name? Very good. Maybe switch off or maybe switch on. Okay, very good. The second one, the next one. Also using your mobile, okay, like muting your mobile, for example, or turn off, okay, the volume, I mean, talking about the volume, turn off your volume. Very good. The next one, turn up, okay, turn up the volume. And finally, here we have, yes, turn down, turn down. Now look at these words here. Switch on or switch off. Turn off, turn up, and finally turn down. Okay, so switch on. Okay, turn off, turn up, and turn down. What can you tell when you see like these words? Okay, is this one word, switch on? Is it one word? No, it's not. Very good, it's not, okay? Because we have switch, okay, on. Nice. Here, the second one, turn off. We have turn and off. Very good. The third one, turn up. So, as you can see here, this is not one word. Okay, it's called phrasal verbs. It's called phrasal verb. So, what is phrasal verb? What is phrasal verb? Let's start. Phrasal verbs, let's see a definition of phrasal verbs. Okay, a phrasal verb is made up of a verb, okay, and a particle. So it's made up of two words or two things, verb, a verb, and a particle. Usually, verbs, you know that verbs, okay, we can use it as doing an action or something like that, okay? But what about particle? What about particle? A particle is what? Is a word, okay? It's a word that is used as an adverb or a preposition. Adverb or a preposition. Actually, let's go back once again here, okay? Now let's see the phrasal verb again. We have a verb, turn, okay? And sometimes we have adverb or a preposition, okay? But in this case here, for example, turn up or turn down, switch on, okay? On, for example, here is not a preposition. It's called particle, okay? Even here, off, up, down, all of these are called particle, not adverb or a preposition itself, because it is connected with a verb. So it's called phrasal verb, phrasal verbs. Very good. Now let's move to see what kind of phrasal verb do we have in English. What kind of phrasal verbs? Let's start with the first one. The severable phrasal verbs. We have severable phrasal verb. What does it mean, severable? something that you can split into two, okay, for two words, for example, or something like that, okay. In some cases, of course, severable phrasal verbs. Okay, now look at here. Let's start. A noun object can come after a particle or the particle here. Now look, the chef cut up the steak into small pieces. Okay, so here we have cut up is a phrasal verb. Okay, but here a noun object can come after. Where is the noun object here? The steak, of course. Okay, this is the noun object, of course. What about here? A noun object can come in between the phrasal verbs, okay, in between. The first one can come after, and the second one in between the phrasal verb. Look, the chef cut the steak up. This is the object, the noun object I'm talking about, okay? So here I used the noun object in between the phrasal verbs. We have cut, okay, and of course you have up, cut up, okay, into small pieces. What about the third one? If a pronoun object is not a noun, okay, a pronoun object is used, it must come between the verb and the particle, okay? It must come between the verb and the particle. Look, the chef cut it. Okay, this is, I'm talking now about the pronoun object, into small pieces. Okay, not like this, the chef cut up it into small pieces. No, this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. So here I'm talking about if a pronoun object is used, okay, how I can use it? Okay, in between of the phrasal verbs, cut it up into small pieces. Now, as you can see here, the severable phrasal verbs, we have these three situations, okay? The three situations here, if we have a noun object, the first one or the first situation come after the phrasal verb, okay? So here, both of them are with noun object, okay, the steak here. It could come after or in between, but in the third situation here, I'm talking about the pronoun object, it must, okay, it must, as you can see. What does it mean must? Something you have to do, okay, something you have to do. It must come between the verb and the particle. And the chef cut it up into small pieces, okay, as you can see here. Now, can you give me examples of severable phrasal verbs? Severable phrasal verbs. Yes. For example, take off, take on. Very good. Now, so you have a lot of severable phrasal verbs. Okay, but here I'm going to show you now another kind of severable phrasal verbs that you can use. Burn off, cut up, figure out, fit in, give up, point out, put on, send back, take off, take out, talk over, tell apart, think over, throw away, throw out, and turn down, turn into, wake up, and wipe up. So all of these are severable phrasal verbs. Severable phrasal verbs. I could use the object, okay, the noun object after them or in between. But what about the pronoun object? It must comes between the phrasal verbs, okay, between the phrasal verb. Very good. If we have severable phrasal verbs, so we should also have nonseparable, isn't it? Very good. So here now we are going to see the nonseparable phrasal verbs. What does it mean, nonseparable? The separable, we said that you can split it into two halves, for example, two words or something like that. But what about the non-separable phrasal verbs? It means that you cannot separate or split them into two halves, okay? So some phrasal verbs, let's read, are non-separable. And look here, I highlighted this one because why? The noun or pronoun always follows the particle, always follows the particle. Okay, so I cannot use it in between, non-separable. I cannot use it in between. Okay, let's give you an example. I ran into Janet at the supermarket. Now, look at this. I ran into Janet at the supermarket. While I cannot use I ran Janet into the supermarket. This is wrong actually, okay? Yeah, the second one, this is number one, and number two here, I ran into her. Okay, so here, what do I mean by her? I mean Janet. So here, I ran into Janet or I ran into her, and I could not use I ran her into. This is non-separable phrasal verbs. Okay, you have to remember this. You have to remember this. Sometimes you need to look it up, okay, or Google it. It's a common when you, what does it mean, run into? Okay, or the previous one, for example, here we're talking about the separable. Okay, go to use a dictionary, okay, or something like that. Find out the meaning of all of these. You could find out the dictionary. Find out. So I'm talking about here something about phrasal verb. Find out. So here we use phrasal verbs a lot. Okay, we talked about the non-separable here, phrasal verbs that we cannot separate the phrasal verbs. I mean, like here, ran into. I cannot say, for example, I ran her into. This is incorrect. This is incorrect, okay? Next slide. Now, let's see some non-separable phrasal verbs. For example, call for, come across, come from, go on, look into, or run into, just like in the previous example, tire off, and turn out. Okay, turn out. These, as we said earlier, these non-separable phrasal verbs. Non-separable phrasal verbs. Okay, so now we talked about phrasal verbs. We have separable and non-separable. Is that all? No, it's not, okay, because we are having now, okay, 3-word phrasal verbs, okay. We had the phrasal verb, only 2 words, like switch on, switch off, but now we are having something more, 3-word phrasal verbs, okay. Let's see how we can form this rule. 3-word phrasal verbs consist of, now look, we have a verb, okay, particle, and what? Preposition. Okay, verb, particle, and a preposition. Don't forget that. Very good. For example, the doctor says you must cut down on sugar. What does it mean, cut down? Cut down something. Okay, it means to reduce. Okay, reduce this thing. Okay, the quantity or something like that. The doctor says you must cut down on sugar. So here we have cut, a verb. Okay, down, particle. Okay, on, it's a preposition. So 3 words, phrasal verbs. Cut down on sugar. Not like this. You must cut sugar down on. No. It's not like that. Okay, so you have to use this one. Cut down on sugar. Okay, so this is incorrect. Very good. Now let's see another 3 words, phrasal verbs. Catch up on, come down with. As I said, go find out the meaning of these phrasal verbs, 3 words, phrasal verbs on a dictionary. Okay, feel up to. Are you familiar with any one of this? Are you familiar, guys, with anyone? For example, what about this one? Look forward to. Look forward to. What does it mean? Yeah, it means to search or something like that, or take care sometime, to take care of something, look forward, or maybe, yes. What does it mean to look forward? You are seeking something. So we are having a lot of meanings here. Okay, so look forward, something like that. What about run out of? To run out of something. And run out of sugar. Okay, there is nothing left. Okay, from sugar, for example, there is nothing left. Take care of. Take care of. And as I said, to look for or something like that. Very good. Now let's move to exercise A. What we are going to do now. Complete the sentences with a particle. Okay, from the box we are having here particles: for, into, off, on, out, over, and up. Okay, so here we are having 7 particles. Some of the particles can be used more than once. It might use twice, or even as you can see here in this passage. Okay, or you can find. So inshallah, I'm gonna try to translate or give you the meaning of these phrasal verbs as I could. Okay, fine. And let's start with my sister has gone. What is the best particle I could use here? Has gone on to many crazy diets. Okay, last month what happened to her? She was on a diet that called for her to eat almost nothing but grapefruit all day. Initially, the diet seem to work. They take weight off quickly. But a few weeks later, my sister always seems to put the weight on. Okay, it gains more weight. Why? Okay, again, and the diets were making her tired and weak. I pointed this out. What does it mean? As I said earlier, we will see the meaning inshallah later. To her last week, and we talked over my concerns. I asked her to figure out, okay, a better way of losing weight. She thought it over, to reconsider again. Okay, she thought it over and agreed to give up. To give up. What does it mean to give up? Nice. The crazy diets. She's going to look into more sensible diets, and she's going to try to burn off calories with more exercise. Okay, now let's see the meaning of these phrasal verbs. Okay, let's start here. Go on, to begin and then continue. Okay, to begin and then continue. To call for, require. It means require. Okay, then take weight off. It means to remove. remove. But what about to put the weight on? Put the weight on, okay? It means to add something, to add or gain something. Here, point out or point this out, okay? What does it mean? It's mean to indicate or mention something. Okay, what about here? Talk over. To talk over something, it means to discuss, okay? To discuss this thing. Figure out, to find solution or answer, okay? Thought over, to consider, to rethink again, okay? Give up, it means to stop from doing things, okay? Stop doing anything also, or abandon hope, for example, give up. Look into, to investigate, research, or search something, okay? Doing research, a lot of research. And finally, burn off. What does it mean to burn off something? It means to cause to go away because of heat or activity, okay, with exercise. So you burn off the weight or a lot of calories, okay? So here, as I said earlier, this is something different. Why? Because I'm talking about the phrasal verb, because the phrasal verb is not like the verb or the preposition. It gives you another meaning. It gives you another meaning, okay? If you looked here, for example, you would see go, okay? What does it mean go? Very good. Go, when you say go, you order someone, for example, to move, okay? While go on, something different, different meaning, okay? To continue. Very good. What about, for example, take? To take something. Very good. But take off, for example, clothes, okay, or clothes here. We have clothes here, okay. To take off clothing, it means to change your robe or dress or something like that, okay. Take off. Here, as I said earlier. Now let's go to exercise B, please. Rewrite each sentence with a pronoun, then circle S if the phrasal verb is severable, or ns if it's non-severable, okay? So here, for example, this one is severable, okay, and this one is non-severable, ns, okay? The first one is an example. We came across a great recipes, okay, a recipe. So here we came across it. So a great one, or great recipe, it became it. Okay, so I replace or rewrite it with a pronoun. So we are going to do this now. I am going to send back this food. To send back this food. So what can I use here? This food, send back. First, what does it mean to send back something? To take it back, very good, or return, okay? So send back, it means to return something. So I am going to send back this food. You could use it, for example, a pronoun. Very good. Number two, most people can't tell apart I am from a sweet potato. So what does it mean? Can tell apart, tell apart. Tell apart means to distinguish, okay, to find the difference between two things. Distinguish between two things. Tell apart. Okay, I am from a sweet potato. Okay, most people can tell apart. Very good. Number three, you need to throw out the moldy cheese. Okay, the moldy cheese here. What does it mean to throw out? To throw out, it means to get rid of, okay, or dispose of something. Number four, I never tire of chocolate. Tire of? Tire of, it means to bored with, okay, I never tire of. Five, wake up, Jenna, for breakfast. Wake up, Jenna, for breakfast. What does it mean to wake up? To let someone, or to make someone stop sleeping, okay, stop sleeping. Finally, number six, I never turn down dessert. Turn down, it doesn't mean something like I don't like dessert or something like that, okay, or it's to refuse or lower, turn down, lower something, turn down, just like in the previous icon when I said turn down the volume, okay, or turn up. Okay, very good. So to refuse or lower. Now let's go back to find out, is it separable or non-separable? Okay guys, help me with that. Let's start. Number one, I'm going to send back. Separable or non-separable? It is separable. Very good. Number two, can chill apart. Chill apart. Also, it is separable. I could use the noun between or after the particle. Number three, to throw out. Yes. So here, the throughout also is separable. Number four, I never tire of. Please give you another chance. Reconsider, okay, for something because it's non-separable. Tire of. 5. Wake up. Separable. Nice. Finally, turn down. It is separable. Excellent. The final one. Now let's go to C. Complete 3-word phrasal verbs. The first one is an example. I don't feel up to going out to dinner tonight. This is an example for you. Feel up to going out to dinner tonight. Okay, nice. Let's start. Number one. He ran to the supermarket because we ran milk. We don't have any more milk. So he ran to, we ran out of milk. Now look at these two here. Ran and of course ran. This is a phrasal verb. Ran out of. 3-word phrasal verb. But this one, he ran, this is a verb. Okay, like doing an action or activity or something like that. Okay, he ran to the supermarket because we ran out of milk. As I said earlier, run out, okay, or run here. So phrasal verb give you a different meaning from the verb itself. Number two, these shoes are old. I think I will get them. The shoes, because the shoes are old. So I think I'll get rid of, dispose, okay, to throw it out. Okay, throw it out. Number three, she has heart problems. Her doctor told her to cut what? Yes, fatty foods. To cut down on fatty foods, to reduce eating, for example, junk food or fast food. Number four, they came food poisoning after they ate the spoiled meat. Okay, they came what? They came, yes, down with food poisoning. 5. Marathon runners often load pasta the night before race. Okay, so they load up on pasta the night before race. Final, number 6, we are trying the new Indian restaurant. Okay, so we are looking forward to trying the new Indian restaurant. Okay, and as I said here earlier, you can find all of these meaning. Run out of, what does it mean? Get rid of, came down with, load up on, and looking forward to in the dictionary. Look it up, please. Okay. Finally, let's go back with our objectives. Write sentences in the short form. Distinguish between separable and non-separable phrasal verbs. Finally, write sentences using 3-word phrasal verbs. And this was the last slide of our lesson today. I would like to thank all of you for watching us today. Inshallah, I will see you at the next lesson. Goodbye.